What happens when the world's most famous faces suddenly become almost unrecognizable? For years, Hollywood celebrities have been surrounded by plastic surgery rumors, dramatic transformations, and emotional confessions that shocked millions of fans around the world. Some stars gained confidence and reinvented their image, while others faced regret, criticism, and heartbreaking consequences hidden behind fame and glamour. In today's video, we're uncovering celebrity plastic surgery stories that surprised everyone, from secret cosmetic procedures and extreme makeovers to the intense pressure of staying young in Hollywood. You'll discover which celebrities admitted the truth, which transformations left fans speechless, and how fame can sometimes push stars beyond their limits. Stay until the end because one shocking story may completely change the way you see beauty standards forever. And don't forget to leave a comment telling us which celebrity transformation surprised you the most and how famous you think your favorite star truly is in today's entertainment world. Jessica Alba has become one of the most talked about and controversial public figures in the world of cosmetic surgery. Once widely known as the human Ken doll, Jessica later came out as transgender and embraced her identity publicly, beginning a new chapter in her life. Over time, the media started referring to her as a real-life Barbie, but her story goes far beyond appearance alone. It reflects a deeply personal search for confidence, acceptance, and physical perfection that has gradually transformed nearly every part of her image. Over the years, Jessica has reportedly undergone more than 100 cosmetic procedures, including multiple nose surgeries, jaw reconstruction, facial implants, lip fillers, and extensive body contouring treatments. The transformation has been so dramatic that many longtime viewers barely recognize her today compared to her earlier television appearances. In the beginning, many people responded with sympathy and admiration. Some praised her honesty, courage, and willingness to live authentically despite public criticism. However, as the surgeries continued and reports of medical complications surfaced, public concern slowly began to grow. Doctors, fans, and even close friends started questioning whether the pursuit of perfection had gone too far. Today, opinions about Jessica Alba remain deeply divided. Some see her as a symbol of personal freedom and self-expression, while others view her story as a warning about the emotional and physical risks of extreme cosmetic surgery. Perhaps the biggest question is not how she looks, but whether all of these transformations have truly brought her lasting happiness and peace. Justin Jedlicka is widely known around the world as one of the most famous human Ken dolls, a title that has followed him throughout his extraordinary cosmetic surgery journey. Over the years, Justin has openly discussed his transformation, reportedly undergoing hundreds of procedures to create what he personally considers the ideal version of the human body. Through implants, facial surgeries, and extensive body enhancements, nearly every part of his appearance has been intentionally reshaped according to his own vision. What makes Justin's story different from many others is the philosophy behind his choices. Rather than using cosmetic surgery simply to correct insecurities, he has often described transformation as a form of personal art and creative expression. His chest, arms, calves, jawline, and facial features were all designed with precision to match an image he imagined for himself. In interviews, Justin has even compared the human body to sculpture, believing it can be molded and refined much like marble or clay. Still, his dramatic transformation continues to spark major debate. Critics argue that such extreme modifications may cross the line between individuality and potential self-harm, especially in a society already influenced by unrealistic beauty standards. Medical experts have also expressed concern about the physical risks connected to repeated surgeries over long periods of time. At the same time, many supporters admire Justin for being transparent, confident, and unapologetic about his choices. Whether people see him as inspiring or controversial, his story continues to challenge traditional ideas about beauty, identity, and how far personal transformation should go. Martina Big has become one of the most controversial figures in the world of extreme cosmetic transformation. Originally from Germany, Martina once lived a fairly traditional life and even worked as a flight attendant before moving into modeling. As her public profile grew, she began dramatically altering her appearance in ways that quickly attracted worldwide attention. Her transformation first became widely discussed because of her repeated breast augmentation procedures, which reportedly resulted in some of the largest saline implants in Europe. However, the controversy surrounding Martina expanded far beyond cosmetic surgery alone. Around 2017, she made international headlines after using melanotan, a synthetic tanning peptide associated with darkening skin pigmentation. Over time, her skin tone changed significantly, and she publicly stated that she identified as a black woman. She also spoke about plans to further alter certain facial features through cosmetic procedures. Those statements immediately sparked intense public criticism and debate. Many people argued that racial identity is deeply connected to culture, ancestry, and lived experience, not simply physical appearance. Critics accused her of cultural appropriation and viewed her transformation as offensive and deeply insensitive. At the same time, Martina continued defending her choices, insisting that her appearance reflects her personal identity and how she genuinely sees herself. Today, Martina Big remains a highly divisive public figure. Some view her as an example of radical self-expression, while others believe her story highlights the dangers of pushing personal transformation beyond ethical and social boundaries. Her journey continues to raise difficult questions about identity, cosmetic modification, and how far self-expression should go in modern society. Carol Bryan never imagined that a routine cosmetic procedure would completely transform her life in the most devastating way possible. In 2009, Carol was simply hoping for a subtle facial enhancement, much like many Americans seeking non-surgical treatments to maintain a youthful appearance. At the time, dermal fillers were widely marketed as safe and common. But what began as a simple cosmetic appointment quickly turned into a medical nightmare that left her permanently blind in one eye and severely disfigured. Shortly after the injections, Carol experienced intense swelling that appeared far more serious than a normal reaction. As time passed, the condition worsened dramatically. Reports later suggested that the filler may have involved improperly administered or unsafe substances, possibly including silicone, which began hardening and spreading through her facial tissue. The damage eventually affected her optic nerve, causing irreversible vision loss. The emotional trauma became just as overwhelming as the physical injuries. Carol withdrew from public life, avoiding friends, social events, and even close family members because of embarrassment and emotional pain. However, her daughter refused to give up hope and tirelessly searched for medical specialists who could help. Their journey eventually led them to doctors at UCLA Medical Center, where surgeons performed multiple reconstructive operations, including an extensive 16-hour procedure using tissue from Carol's back to rebuild parts of her face. Today, Carol Bryan's story stands as a powerful warning about the risks connected to cosmetic procedures. More importantly, she has become an advocate for patient safety, awareness, and careful medical decision-making before undergoing aesthetic treatments. Raji Narina Singh is an actress, author, and outspoken transgender advocate whose life story has become both heartbreaking and inspiring. After years of struggling with her identity, Raji eventually chose to live openly as herself, hoping to find peace and confidence through that journey. Like many transgender women, she believed facial feminization procedures could help her feel more comfortable in her own skin and better reflect the person she truly felt she was inside. However, the extremely high cost of legitimate cosmetic procedures made safe medical treatment difficult to afford. Searching for a cheaper alternative, Raji turned to O'Neill Ron Morris, an unlicensed individual falsely presenting herself as a qualified professional. What followed became a devastating medical tragedy. Raji was injected with dangerous non-medical substances, reportedly including mineral oil, cement-like compounds, and other materials never intended for cosmetic use. The results were immediate and traumatic. Her face swelled severely, leaving her disfigured and emotionally shattered. Overwhelmed by shame and fear, Raji withdrew from public life and often relied on heavy makeup, wigs, and isolation to hide her condition from the world. Her turning point came years later through her appearance on the television show Botched, where experienced surgeons worked to remove some of the harmful substances and begin reconstructive treatment. Although the recovery process was long and painful, Raji eventually regained confidence and found the strength to speak publicly about her experience. Today, she uses her story to warn others about the serious dangers of unlicensed cosmetic procedures and the risks people sometimes take when desperate for acceptance, transformation, or affordability. Pixie Fox is one of the most unusual and talked-about figures in the world of extreme cosmetic transformation. Inspired by animated heroines and comic book characters, Pixie set out on a dramatic journey to turn herself into what she has described as a living cartoon character. Unlike many people who pursue cosmetic surgery to achieve conventional beauty standards, Pixie's goal was something entirely different. She wanted exaggerated, fantasy-inspired proportions that mirrored the stylized appearance of fictional characters rather than real human anatomy. Over the years, she has undergone numerous cosmetic procedures, including facial surgeries, lip enhancements, breast augmentation, and extensive body contouring. However, the transformation that attracted the most attention was her extremely small waist. Pixie has publicly stated that she underwent rib removal surgery to achieve her desired silhouette, a claim that has sparked both fascination and skepticism from doctors and the public alike. Seeing such dramatic proportions on a real person has challenged many traditional ideas about the limits of cosmetic surgery and the human body itself. Critics often question the safety and long-term consequences of these procedures, especially when cosmetic modifications push far beyond what most surgeons consider typical or medically advisable. At the same time, supporters argue that Pixie's appearance represents artistic freedom and personal expression rather than a need for public approval. Despite constant criticism and media attention, Pixie has remained consistent in defending her choices. She insists that her transformation reflects creativity, individuality, and control over her own identity. Her story ultimately raises larger questions about beauty standards, fantasy culture, and how far someone may go in pursuit of their ideal self. K. Michelle is widely recognized for her powerful music career and outspoken personality, but her experience with cosmetic procedures has also become one of the entertainment industry's most serious cautionary tales. During the peak of her fame, K. Michelle felt intense pressure to maintain a curvier body image, something that was heavily glamorized in music and television culture at the time. In an effort to achieve that look more quickly, she underwent illegal silicone injections, believing they would provide a simple and effective enhancement. Instead, the decision led to years of painful consequences. Over time, she began suffering from severe health complications, including chronic pain, infections, and extensive tissue damage caused by the injected substances. What started as a cosmetic choice soon turned into a dangerous medical emergency. Her condition became so serious that she required hospitalization and multiple corrective surgeries to remove the harmful materials from her body. Some of the damage was so extensive that surgeons had to reconstruct affected areas, proving just how dangerous unregulated cosmetic procedures can truly be. The emotional impact was equally devastating. K. Michelle later admitted that the experience left her physically exhausted and emotionally overwhelmed, especially knowing that some of the damage could never be completely reversed. Since then, she has openly shared her regrets and used her platform to warn others, particularly young women, about the risks of illegal body enhancements and the pressure to meet unrealistic beauty standards. Today, her story stands as both a warning and a message of resilience. By speaking honestly about her experience, K. Michelle has helped bring greater awareness to the hidden dangers of unsafe cosmetic procedures and the importance of making informed medical decisions. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new videos. See you in the next one.